Hey everybody, thanks for clicking that thumbnail. Welcome to Talking Habs, and in today's video we're going to do the final standings predictions. So I've done a couple of these final standings predictions. I do them early, and as you go along, you know, there's new information, there's trades that are made, there's stuff like that, and you know, you change as you go along. So this is the final one. I'm not going to be able to change after this. Doing it slightly different is that I'm only going to give you the top four. I'm going to give you who comes out of each division, and I'm going to give you Stanley Cup final teams, and then the winner. So these are my predictions for how this is going to end at the end of this season. So before we get to that, if you're new to the channel, and if you're a Habs fan like I am, and you want to see more content like this about the Habs, your favorite team and mine, subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's down there, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here Talking Habs. Let's get into the predictions. All right. So I'm going to start with the East Division, which is also known as the Mass Mutual Division. So in these trying times financially, the divisions have new names, corporate sponsors, and anyways, who cares? It's East, Central, West, then North. That's what we got. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start oddly from one down. All right. So in the East, I've got to finish in first, Philadelphia. I'm just going to write Philly. I think Philly's a really strong team. We played them last season in the playoffs. And, you know, it's not that, you know, that, how do I want to put this? We gave them a scare. Proved that Montreal's a team that can play. But Philadelphia overcame it, and they're a very strong team. They've got the goaltending in Carter Hart, good backup in Brian Elliott. They've got the defense, the Sanheim, can I get them all? Gospazir, who was rumored to be coming here. I'm not getting, there's the one with the P. No, they've got some really good defense, so their defense is solid. Their offense is solid. They've got two good top lines. They've got a good, solid bottom six as well. This is a good team. They can score. You got Couturier, Voracek, Giroux playing wing instead of center. You know, that's how strong you are. That you got two good, solid centers, that Giroux is playing on the wing. It's just a good team. I'm probably babbling here about it, but I think Philadelphia finishes in first. I don't like their coach anymore. I used to, but after that, yeah, I don't like him anymore. But I still think this is a team that's going to be tops in the East. Next up, I struggled with this division. I think I'm going to put Washington here. Washington, Alex Ovechkin, Backstrom, you got Kuznetsov, you got you got young goaltending right now in Samsonov because Holtby is in Vancouver. So can Samsonov do the job? That's going to be a question mark. Their defense is good. Their offense is good, obviously led by Ovechkin. They're getting a little bit older, especially up front, but I think they can keep up there and be second. I definitely think they'll be one of the top four. So that's my reasoning. Make fun of it if you want. Next up. This one, I had them out of the playoffs, and I don't want to have to put them in, but I think they actually do. And that's Boston. Why I had them out of the playoffs was because if we would have started December 1st, so if you go back to some of my original, Boston would have been without Brad Marchand, without David Pastrnak for a good month, maybe more. Now, because it's going to be a month and a half after that, Marchand apparently is going to be ready for the opening, like he's in camp now. And apparently Pastrnak should be ready 2-3 weeks after the start of the season. So it's not going to be that horrible month and a half, 2 months of not having these guys and losing Torrey Krug. And it's, you know, so I think they're going to be able to actually keep up with everybody. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think they can just as easily finish in third or fourth. But I think they actually make it because it's a good, solid team. So once Pastrnak is back, they're going to be missing Krug a bit. That is true, but their goaltending is a solid goaltending. Rask and Halak. You know, so I think they're going to be fine. I don't want to have to have said that, but that's the way it is. Next up, I've got, this is my hot take, because I think most people have the Islanders or Pittsburgh in this group. I don't. I'll tell you why after this, but I'm putting New York Rangers. I've had the Rangers there since they got Lafreniere. I think they've got solid offense. Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider. You've got Lafreniere starting on the third line. I don't think he stays there too long. But you got pretty solid offense there. Their defense is doing pretty good, I think. You got, I can't even name them all, but that's a solid defense. Maybe not the greatest, and it could improve a little bit, but that's a good solid. It's solid. The goaltending with Georgiev and Shesterkin, that's it, Shesterkin. I think that's good. They're young, maybe a little unproven, especially in Shesterkin, but I think that's going to be a really good tandem, one of the best in the league. Maybe not this year, but in the future. So I think they're set there. I don't know. I don't really understand why, for me, I don't see why teams or people don't have them higher up. So maybe it's something I'm missing, but I've got the Rangers there. So the rest, I think, is it's probably going to finish Pittsburgh, New York Islanders, Pittsburgh. They're going to be there. And then Buffalo, New Jersey. And maybe Buffalo, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough division. This is a really tough division. So we'll see how it works out. But that's the top four. Next up, Central Division. First, I think they stay there. Tampa Bay. Even though they lost Kucherov, sure, Kucherov's one of the best players in the league, best player on that team. But if Steven Stamkos can stay healthy, you haven't lost a ton, because Stamkos was injured he played 57 games. But still, you've got Stamkos. They haven't really lost that much off the team that we thought, because of the salary cap situation, that team was going to get hurt. But with Kucherov being out all season, it helped them a lot, obviously, to be able to sign everybody. And they've gotten that done. It's not much different than the team that won the Cup last year. I think they have still enough to keep up in first place, and I think that's why I got them there. Next up, right behind them, I think Carolina. Now, when I first started, I had Carolina lower, but they've got a good goalie tandem. I mean, it's not my favorite goalie tandem, but it's good enough. And then you've got a good, solid defense. You do have a solid defense there. Hamilton, I don't even know all the names there, but you got Dougie Hamilton to start right there, right? And but it is a good, solid defense. Your offense is pretty damn good with Teravainen, Aho, just the name. That's what's his name, Svechnikov. You've got so much offense there. Your defense is solid that the goaltending just has to be okay or good, right? And they're going to be up there. So they could win this division, but I don't think they do. Next up, gets a little harder. I think it's going to be Nashville. If especially if Pekka has I think he needs to have a bit of a bounce back. It wasn't great last season, but Pekka Rinne is fully capable to have a good season. You got UC Soros, so their goaltending is definitely solid. Their defense is really good. I mean, you got Roman Josi there. I don't know all their names, but I know one thing Nashville always has is a good defense, and they have that this year. Their offense is what's a problem. Their offense kind of is anemic. You got Matt Duchene, for all that money, for 42 points, don't get it. You've got, they lost Kyle Turris. They need to score more. Their defense was great, but their goals weren't enough. So if they can get some offense going, Forsberg's there, I'm getting the name. There's a Johansson there, I think. These guys need to put the puck in the net, especially a guy like Matt Duchene, who I'm glad Montreal did not get. For all that money, for at 42 points, and I don't think he's capable of that much more, but he's going to need to be. But I think still they're going to finish in third. Next up, I think a lot of people have Dallas in there, but Dallas is going to be they're going to be without what's his name, Seguin. They're going to be without Bishop, maybe all season for both. That's going to really be an effect on them. I don't see how they're going to bounce back enough from there. I don't have them up there. I have actually Columbus. Columbus, as long as Dubois isn't that much of a distraction because of this stuff with Dubois, if that's a distraction, that could be a problem there. Do I think Columbus is going to trade him? I actually don't right now. I think that's an off-season trade. I don't think in the season like this they're going to make a move like that. There's talk with Patrick Laine, but then if they say that it's Dubois for Laine, now Dubois is a center, number one center. He's gone, so they don't have a number one center. So unless you're getting Dubois, Laine and Stastny, or you're finding a center somewhere else, I don't see that happening. So I don't think that's a deal right now. In the offseason, it's a different story next offseason. But so get back to it. As long as Dubois doesn't really create that huge distraction, I think they have good enough goaltending. Their goaltending is, I think, one of the best in the league. Their defense is good. You got Seth Jones there, David Savard. That's a good defense. And the problem then is the offense up front. So if they can keep, get that ball rolling with the offense and they don't screw it up with the Dubois distraction, I think they can finish enough to be in fourth. So what you got left there, you got Florida, Detroit, Dallas, and Chicago. Chicago, with all their injuries, their goaltending situation, it's not going to be good. Detroit improved, but not enough to really make any. I think the Chicago finished behind them. Detroit. Next up is either Florida or Dallas. I don't know how bad Dallas is going to be with those injuries. Florida's kind of rebuilding. So unless Bobrovsky has a super great bounce back season, I don't know. So those are the teams. Florida, Detroit, Florida, Dallas. I can say Dallas, Florida, Detroit, Chicago. Next up is the West Division. I think everybody talking about this has the same three teams at the top. Might have them in little different order, but it's going to be the same three teams. For me, first one is Colorado. I think earlier I had Vegas, but Colorado, for me, the only question mark in Colorado is their goaltending, right? Grubauer and Francouz. They haven't really done that much yet to prove that they are going to be that. But a hot goalie is all you need to get to win a cup. Really, you need a good goalie that gets hot. That's it. And if the team is good enough around him, then that's all you really need. So it's a good enough team. Their defense is pretty damn solid. Makar, Gerard. You got Bowen Byram probably coming up this year. I mean, this is a good defense and good prospects coming. I mean, this is a good defense. Offense, well, it's led by Nathan McKinnon. Should tell you a lot. I think they got two definitely solid lines. I think they got good depth, so I think their bottom six is good. No, I can't name all the names, but I really think Colorado is the cream of the crop in that division, and they're going to win that. Next up, I've got Vegas. Vegas, to me, their only question is down the middle. Down the middle, the centers. I don't know if their centers are the best 2 or 3 centers in that division, especially. And it depends on, I think, Cody Glass. He's a center. He's young. If he comes in and has a really good year, a la Nick Suzuki last season, I think maybe that could be a difference. But I still think they're strong enough. Their goaltending situation is fantastic with Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury. So that's going to be great. Their offense is good. And their defense is good. You got Peter Angelo in there now. They lost Nate Schmidt, but I mean, Peter Angelo sure replaces that. So they got a good defense, good offense, a little weak down the center, and a really good goaltending. So, yeah, I think it's good enough for second. Maybe they come in first. It's going to be between those two teams. I think the next team here, St. Louis, kind of challenges that. I don't know if they're good enough to be the top 2, but they're going to be, I think St. Louis is that third best team in that. So, yeah, I've got St. Louis. So they lost Peter Angelo, but they got Torrey Krug. Not exactly the same, but still good. Their goaltending, Binnington, they lost that great backup that we got, Jake Allen. So it's unknown there, the backup, but Binnington should be good and have a good season. You've got offense. Their offense is good. You're led by Ryan O'Reilly. It's a solid team. I think everybody's got it like that, but I've got them in third there. So the question mark, who is the fourth team? Now, I've had LA the whole way along as a hot take. I don't know that they're going to be able to do it. I like their goaltending tandem of Peterson and Quick. I think Quick is still capable, obviously. Peterson, a young, looks like he's got NHL stardom, maybe, goalie in his future. So I like their goaltending. Now, everything else is kind of a question mark. Their offense is okay, led by Kopitar. There's a lot of, I think Turcotte's coming in. I mean, there's some good kids coming in. They got a lot of good rookies. So it depends how that could play out. So is it good enough for fourth? I kind of had them there, and I think I might want to change that, and I think I am. And I'm going to go with Minnesota. Not with an N, Minnesota. So I think Minnesota, their biggest problem, there's two things. I think their goaltending might be suspect, right? I think you have, I don't remember their names. It's not Stallers, it's whatever. They, I don't know. I don't even know who the other guy is. So goaltending for me, I don't know. From everything I hear, should be adequate. So we'll go with that. On offense, they're a little weak down the center. Eriksson Ek and Marcus Johansson. But you've got Marco Rossi. Marco Rossi could come in here and make a big difference. So if that happens, that kind of brings them up. And I think that gives them a little bit more than LA would have. So that's why I've got Minnesota there. They have some kind of hope. You've got Kirill Kaprizov as well. They've got some hope there if it works out. I think they're just a little weak down the center and in nets. Their defense, Matt Dumba, can't remember the other guys. But, I mean, it's okay if they don't trade Dumba away. So I think that's good enough to get fourth. That's one change for this. I haven't had Minnesota there yet. San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Arizona, they round it out. Personally, I think Arizona is the bottom there. I think it goes San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Arizona. That's how I'm going to predict it. But it's not up on the board. Next up is the North Division. I'm a Habs channel. I should stand up higher. So this is the big division. I'm tempted to go from 4-1, but I'm not going to hide this. Okay, in first, I've got Montreal. I'm not shy to say that. That's not a Habs fan take. I really believe Montreal is the best team in this division. Why? They have the best tandem and Price and Allen. The fact that Price is going to play probably about 60% of the games and not 75% of the games or more is going to be huge. It's going to be huge for them. So that's one thing. They have an improved defense, especially in size. If they go with Kulak and not Mete, everybody's over 6 feet because Romanov is now 6 feet. He grew a little bit, so you got all 6 foot plus defensemen. It's very mobile, and you got some offense there. And Petrie, we don't know about Romanov, and Weber, obviously. So you got some offense there. I think that's a really good defense now. They're going to be hard to play against. It's going to be hard to get in tight with to the net because these guys are so big and they are physical. So I think it's going to be pretty good. And their offense has improved. This was a big problem for them last year. Offense and depth, big problem. And they've improved all of that, picking up Toffoli and Anderson up front. Toffoli is a goal scorer, playmaking kind of guy. Anderson, he has scored 27. It's a question mark after last season, which was injury riddled, so I don't know why it's a question mark. He's huge. He is physical. He's going to make a difference with Suzuki and Drouin and open up some space there. I think that's great. We've got our first line of Deneau, Tatar, Gallagher. We all know how that is. That's one of the best 5-on-5 lines in the league. Good shutdown line. I mean, so I think, and the bottom four, well, you got 1, 2, 3 kind of offensive lines, and the fourth line, you got to, I don't know if they're getting a lot of offense there, but you can shut teams down. This is a good physical line with Perry probably there. I like Jake Evans as the fourth line center there. And then you got probably Paul Byron, or I don't know who else will be there. This is going to be a good team. I think this is a team built for the playoffs. I think they're going to get to the playoffs. And I actually really believe they're going to get the number one spot, mostly based on the fact that goaltending tandem. Goaltending tandems are going to be super important in this year. Super important. Next up, I don't have Toronto this time. I got Calgary. Calgary. The addition of Markstrom is going to be big for them, I think. With Riddick as a backup, that's a damn good tandem right there. Defense, I think their defense is good. I don't know enough about it to say, wow, that's a great defense, but I think that's a good defense there. I think their offense is pretty damn good. Gaudreau, if he has a bounce back, especially season. You got Monahan, who there's some trade rumors out there with Monahan. You have Tkachuk, Matt Tkachuk. That's grit. That's offense. I mean, this is a good team. They could win this division easily, and I think Montreal does, and Calgary's in second. Next up. Okay, Toronto fans, there you go. Toronto in third. Why Toronto in third? Because Toronto, I don't think they have enough. What's the word I want to look for? Okay, I don't think they know how to win yet. Will Joe Thornton teach them how to win? Don't know, but they have to look inside themselves and win from within themselves, because that's what's missing, the heart. They don't do it. That's my opinion. I don't know. Toronto's got talent galore, yes, up front. Matthews, Tavares, Nylander. I'm probably Marner. They've got talent up front. On defense now, you got Riley, you got TJ Brody, you got Muzzin. I mean, this is decent. It's improved. Anderson is a good goalie. I've never thought Anderson wasn't very good. The addition of getting Campbell last year, I think that's pretty good. And you've got some extra depth there with Aaron Dell. So I think the three goalies are going to carry that they're good on goaltending. So I think the problem is here. They don't know how to win. They don't know how to get that extra little oomph out of them. They're great in the regular season in games that don't matter. When the games matter, when the games and they don't have it. And that's what's going to stop them. And that's why they're not going to win the cup. Number 4. I know Leaf fans hate me now. Here's the surprise, because I really had them down, but I think Edmonton might be better than I think. So, than I thought. Obviously, the offense with McDavid and Draisaitl is there. You got Puljujarvi coming in, looking like he should have a good season. Kyler Yamamoto, a small sample size, but a good sample size. That's very promising. They might have a little trouble with the rest of the depth there. That could be an issue. And goaltending is an issue for me with Mike Smith there. But you never know. He could just have a bounce back. He didn't have a great season or playoffs last year. He could have a bit of a bounce back and have one season where he gets his old self back. And then you've got, whatever his name is there to go. I think their starting goalie is okay. It's his first time being a starting goalie, really, so we'll see how that works out. And their defense, missing Klefbom, could be a problem, but they've got Tyson Barrie to make up for the offensive part of that. I think it's the defensive part that could be a problem there, but you do have Darnell Nurse. Ethan Bear looks promising. You've got some guys there that could really step up, and with that opportunity with Klefbom out, I'm not sure how that works, but from what I can glean from other people, they're a lot more optimistic with Edmonton than I was. So I'm putting them in the 4th spot, and I think they make the playoffs. Now we get to who wins the divisions. And how are we doing on time? Oh boy, I've been talking my ass off. It's going to be a long one. Okay, I think Philadelphia comes out of the East. Philadelphia, I think they're the best team there. I'm hoping it's not Boston that challenges for it. I don't want to see Boston there. Philadelphia, the other team I'd like to see, New York Rangers. Don't know if they can do that, but I'm going to take Philadelphia here. Central, Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay comes out of this division. Carolina is the only team in there that I think can challenge for that. I don't think Columbus is good enough, or Nashville. So it's between, to me, Carolina and Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay comes out. In the West, Colorado. Colorado, to me, is the cream of that division, and they're going to come out of that division. Nathan MacKinnon said the only goal that he has basically is winning the Stanley Cup. I think he can drag this team along, and it's a great team to go along with that. I think they make it. Next up, of course, everybody knows I'm going to say Montreal here. I think they are the best team in that division. I think they're also a team built to play in the playoffs and to win in the playoffs, and they're going to come out of that division. Next up, this is where, for me, I don't think they make the Stanley Cup over. I don't know how it's going to work out. These are the two guys I've got. Philadelphia, I think Philadelphia is going to make it and beat Tampa Bay, and I think Colorado is going to beat, Philadelphia is going to beat Montreal. Tampa Bay is going to lose to Colorado, and that's where you go. And Colorado. Yeah, I think this is Colorado's year. And they're going to be the Stanley Cup champ. They haven't won the Cup since, 2001, I think. MacKinnon, it's his time. He may be the best player in the league. It's McKinnon, McDavid, Draisaitl. It's one of those guys. So I think he does it this year, and he gets his cup, and he's a great player, and he proves it. And there you go. There's my predictions. Let's get out of here. I'm running too long. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Ring that notifications bell. That will get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Big lockdown tomorrow. And peace out, y'all. See you next video. Bye, everybody.